What's going on, family? This is episode 87 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. What's Good himself, Israel.
What's good?
What's good? What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Man, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. It's another day to be great. And they got
For
me
sure,
working
man.
nights. Yeah.
Yeah, they got you doing all that building and constructing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A whole lot
Atlanta
of
need a
that.
lot of help because they just, they act like they don't know what they doing sometimes. So
Look, we was off
they
a
got
lot of
somebody like
last
you
week
out there.
because of the rain, so gotta make up for it
Okay.
somehow, I guess.
What they saying when it come to FIFA? Because that's coming in town. I think on the 15th.
It's supposed to be like 2 weeks from now. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're gonna be ready at this point. Cause you got some of the expressways still look like they still being built. Like you got a lot to do in 2 weeks, and I don't even
yeah.
think most of them people gonna be driving for real. Cause if you're coming overseas, unless everybody gonna be doing the rental cars or something like. Not too many people gonna be driving for real. It'll be a lot of Uber and stuff, a lot of
Gonna
Uber
be money
traffic.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 but yeah, I guess most of the main stuff is constructed. But yeah, I'll be
Mm,
working on street stuff in the city or around the city. Like I was on Campbellton Road last night.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know somebody that stay over there. But anyway,
hmm
um, how was your weekend?
Man, it was pretty good, went on a nice little hiatus, didn't talk to nobody. I was like, yo, I let them know people don't be listening to me when I be saying stuff, and then they be surprised when it happen. I'm like, yo, I told you, you just wasn't listening. So yeah, went on a nice little hiatus, a nice little trip to the beach. I ain't tell nobody. And yeah, didn't talk to nobody. And yeah, had a good time. Got
You
away
went
from
to the
some
beach?
rain and got some beach. Got a chance to go to the beach and come back and get ready for work on Monday. Today, Tuesday, yeah. So it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Last minute stuff. The perks of the Go Wild Pass. Yeah, yeah.
So I remember you sending me something on Instagram. Is it true that it's like standby or they just lied about that?
No, they lied about that. It's
Okay.
like you get confirmed bookings the day before for domestic flights and then up to 10 days for international flights and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was like some spots. If you flexible and stuff with the time, it's like sometimes they'll have extra early or late flights or something in the midday, and then I caught like a round trip for like $30, so that wasn't bad. And then just backpack it. If you good at backpacking, you got a good little backpack, or if it fit up in Frontier Personal bin or whatever, then you good. I always backpack it because I don't need too much but the clothes I got on and probably like two extra pairs, socks, shirts, and underwear. And, hey, got a nice backpack and boom, that's it. Backpacking.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
my weekend, well, first I'm gonna start after we did our show last week. I had went to the movies. I did not see Michael, but I still will talk about it because I did promise from last week that I'll talk about the breakdown of Drake
Mm.
Iceman and how it correlates with Michael Jackson. So I didn't get a chance to see that movie, but what movie I did see because I was on a movie date. Uh, I went to go see the movie Obsession. Have you seen the trailer for that?
No, that's probably what I should have seen. I seen I love boosters, and that had a crazy turn. I'm like, yo, I
I
should have knew it
told
was gonna be something
I
crazy.
told you it was. I said
Yeah.
the artistic style, it was a little
It was
not
just
for
like
me.
Sorry to Bother You, where it just
Yeah,
took a left turn. We're like, wait a minute, what? What is going on here? Yeah, yeah.
I
But how was
wild.
Obsession?
Obsession was great, actually. It had me it had me audibly saying things in the movie theater. I was sitting there like, "Yo, what? Okay, get away from her." She was weird. Like, so basically, the premise of the movie is a guy really likes this girl and he really wants her to like him back. He went to a psychic store, brought her like something from the psychic store, and just made a wish that that the girl really likes him. I wish she loves me more than anything in the world, and it happened, and he didn't know how to take
You
it.
know, I might go watch that movie. Let me write that down right here. You know, I think that was one of the movies, but it's so many obsessive movies,
Yeah,
and like it's crazy on Amazon, Netflix. They got Obsession. They got so many crazy movies where you got the white woman
that people
is
that can't
obsessed
leave you
with
alone.
Idris Elba, and she
Yeah,
ends up being a homewrecker. It's
yeah.
all
With
crazy.
Beyonce, yeah, that was
Oh
actually one of
yeah,
my favorite movies.
yeah, with Beyonce
Obsession.
too. Let me write
Yes,
that down. Hold up.
that was one of my
Yeah, that's the
favorite
movie
films
with
of all
Beyonce.
time.
Hold up, he was up in that movie with Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce was his wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. That girl was crazy. But yeah, Obsession with another crazy girl that
I
I
might
think
go
that was
watch
more of
that
a
tomorrow.
lesson. I think that's more of a lesson of be careful what you wish for, type of scenario. So
Now, does
people,
it seem like if you could handle the obsession, that would be good?
yes,
Okay.
if you could handle it. But I feel like sometimes when you doing things through nefarious means, um yeah, it gets bad. That's all I'm gonna say. It just doesn't. I just feel
Yeah.
like it doesn't work right when when you're wishing for it and then like you using outside forces for it instead of naturally happening. Um,
Yeah. That's
so
interesting. I might go see that this week, man. I got all this time during the daytime to do stuff, so I might go see that.
yeah, so that was this week, and then I'm out on location, family. The reason why you guys don't see the regular background, when y'all see this type of background, you know, it's because I'm out of town. I'm in the shack right now, in the where my homegrown peoples um came in Saturday. Sunday went to church, had the anniversary, pastoral anniversary of the Candace Queen Hatshepsut. Um, she also elevated our archbishop, our overseer of our church,
What?
to Pope. Hold on,
Oh,
let me
what?
do the drum roll for that.
Oh,
To Pope Titus Justice the First.
wow,
That's
that's
that's his
crazy.
whole.
That's what's up. That's very
It's a
interesting.
big milestone. Your father was there. He was there. Prophet Moses was there. Um,
They had one of them white popes there from one of them Catholic churches or something too, or not?
we did not have that. No. Uh, I actually was
Or
surprised. I didn't even know this was happening. So,
or the
um,
unorthodox Coptic people.
it was definitely.
I wonder if that would be something. If the unorthodox, well, we are unorthodox. If you had the Orthodox Coptic people come and see what's up, intervene.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was history being made. The way she kind of did it, it was like, I mean, she says after the order of King Melchizedek, instead of Adam Atom, she said Atokm. And I was like, that was interesting. I would love to see how all of this comes up, about family. Like this is a Catholic podcast, so definitely had to talk about church and everything like that. Yesterday was also I believe Emperor John the Revelator's birthday.
I think
Uh
it was on the 31st.
okay. So I'm
Uh,
sorry. Sunday, I'm sorry. So yeah,
yeah.
so um forgot today is Tuesday. Uh um so I believe they had a musical for him. Um I mean, not that I know of anything else of what was going on around the nation, uh, that was going on as of while I'm in town, which I will be uh, attending another blessing this upcoming Sunday on the first Sunday, which is the men's Sunday at Faith Temple.
That's what's
There is a
up.
blessing by the Deacon Bartholomew and the Apostle, Chief Apostle Titus.
That's what's
Um,
up. He
they're
got
gonna
his
have
own
a
church.
blessing this Sunday. So yeah, Apostle Titus is in Indianapolis.
Mm.
Kingdom it's I can't I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not gonna quote what I believe his church is, but it is in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Um so yeah, he does have his own church. But he's also a part of ours. So, you know. Um so yeah, I mean that was really my weekend. Other than that, I just been chilling with the fam, working, and that's really it, honestly. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So so family. Before we get into before we get into any of the topics of today, I have a question that is always on everybody's mind, and it happens every single day of everybody's life. And that question is something you ask every single day, and that is it disrespectful? This is one of our favorite
Mm.
segments that some of our that some of our listeners love. They always say, "Can you bring back a little bit more of a is it disrespectful?" So we got one for you this week, family. And Israel, I was looking online, and this father was telling his daughter, right? If that man, he said, if that man, your man, could not change a tire, you're supposed to break up with him. So my question, Israel, is it disrespectful for uh the father to tell his daughter that she should break up with her boyfriend if he cannot change a tire?
Nah, I don't think so. I think we gotta hold certain accountabilities and responsibilities when it comes to gender roles, and it should be the same thing on other stuff where it's like, oh, if this woman can't do this, you need to break up with her. Boom. You know, everybody gets once. If he don't know how to do it, that should be something he need to learn how to do before the time comes. But if the times come and he doesn't know how to do it, definitely needs to be breaking up with. But I know if he tries to and he can't because the tire is stuck because he needs some power tool or something like that. And that has happened before. That happened to me actually. It was something with the nut in the tire where it was like, yo, this is not working. I need some extra help. But I knew what I was doing because I got the tire off for the most part without that power tool. But that wasn't my first time changing the tire. So yeah. Woman should have some type of responsibilities where if she don't know how to do that, you need to break up with her too. Completely understandable. What you think?
I believe that it's not disrespectful at all. Like you just said, I agree with you, Israel. As a man, there's just certain things you need to learn how to do. You got to learn how to do it, and you should be able to do it. Okay, so family, fellas, if you're listening, ladies, if you're listening, don't dump him right away. Let's say he didn't have the upbringing where there were older men around him that he could do it. Maybe he grew up in a house with his mom, and that's it, or just the women around. He didn't know how to do these type of things. I'm not giving an excuse, but I'm giving just a reason of maybe just for just that one time. Let him get that past that one time. After that, he better learn how to change the tire. Matter of fact, he need to learn how to put oil in the car. The If he don't know how to put the oil in the car, or the windshield wiper fluid, or the simple stuff. Okay. you need to reevaluate what type of man you got in your house. Unless he's the one that likes to spend the money. Because some people who spend the money, they just hire people to do it for them. Because that might be a thing
Yeah, it
too.
all depends on what you're spending the money for. Then, like when I ain't want to do it, I used to pay somebody to cut my grass. But yeah,
Is that just lazy though, Israel?
you know,
A
if you
little bit.
paying the childhood, if you paying if you paying somebody in the neighborhood where it's somebody's kid, somebody's child or something, and they want to cut grass,
Yeah,
absolutely not. You doing community service. You helping the community out because this is teaching
yeah,
responsibility, accountability, and hey, you doing some community work. You helping the community out. Recycle those dollars. You know, going from your pocket to the next door neighbor's son's pocket, and they, you know, hey, you helping out, and they helping out in return.
yeah. Definitely keep the money circulating amongst the community. I definitely we'll definitely talk about that. All right, family. Going into a little bit of the sports updates. Tomorrow, which is June 3rd, is the start of the NBA finals. And we had the update bracket. It was we already talked about New York waiting for the winner of OKC Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs, and the San Antonio Spurs advance to the finals. So it's going to be San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knickerbockers, New York Knicks, for the NBA championship of 2026. If you had any type of bet on this series, Israel, who would you think would win?
Spurs.
Yeah.
Who is it? Spurs versus the Knicks?
Yeah, this
Yeah, I think the Spurs.
Spurs versus the Knicks. Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice for New
Um,
York to win, but I think the Spurs. What is Spurs out
I
of?
think Texas. They have Victor Wembanyama, 7'4" center from France that has came over uh to the United States to play for San Antonio.
I think
And it seemed like
Spurs.
they were scared of him a little bit. That's a tall man in that paint. You can't do no layups. He blocking it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely blocking it.
That man tall, tall. Yeah, so for the basketball people, we're at the end of the basketball season, and we're going to see who's going to be the NBA champions. I will go with my heart and say, just because I want New York to finally have something that they can cheer about. And so I'm going to say New York Knicks can take it. I really want Victor Wembanyama to just have the experience of the finals, because he's going to win championships in the future. He's the tallest man right now in the NBA. He's going to win championships in the future. He's only 22 years old. Everybody else on the Knicks is probably older a little bit. This is their first time trying to win a championship. So I'm just, for what I want, for what the people want. The people want New York. So I'm gonna
But
just say
New
New York.
York. That'll be dope.
All right, family. Let's get into the first topic of today. And that topic is going to be um yo, Israel, somebody else decided to shoot at the White House. And we were supposed to been talk about this. I feel like we late on some of these stories, but at least we get into them, okay?
Yeah,
Uh
that's crazy. Why they trying to shoot up the White House? What's really going on?
yeah, let's deep dive into this story, because at this point, I don't know if this is all continuous theater or what. That's how I look at this. I'm like, man, maybe we should stop reporting on all this fake stuff.
Look like a predator.
You talking about like from the movie Predator?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, gunman was unalived after opening fire on a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint near the White House um, last Saturday evening. I think this was like May 20 something. Um, Officials say Secret Service officers returned fire, hitting the suspect who later died at uh, the hospital. An innocent bystander was also wounded. That's crazy. The suspect was identified by a person familiar with the investigation as 21-year-old Nasir Best, according to source. Best had a previous run-in with the Secret Service in July of 2025, in which he tried to gain entry to the White House and was arrested and sent to a psychiatric ward for mental health issues because he was going around calling himself God. All right. Israel, what
Crazy
do you think
work.
about this story?
Man, if they gonna do stuff like that, they need to do it with a bang because they not getting nowhere with a gun. No. I'm gonna say they need more bang and less pew pew. Yeah. They trying to make some
Well, they
fireworks, they
said it
need
was
to
a
make some
revolver.
fireworks. Huh?
They said he had a revolver.
That's it. No, he needs some
Yeah.
fireworks. Some fireworks. He need the big bang. Yeah, that's what he need. Yeah. He wasn't trying to do it for real. Yeah.
Israel, what do you think about the constant? This is like the third story within like the last 6 months of somebody either shooting at the president, shooting at the White House, or shooting at his Secret Service. What do you think about all this stuff?
They on a hit list, man, but these hitters ain't hitting. These shooters ain't shooting right. Got some bad shooters. We need to level up. Need to
Not
level
bad
up.
shooters.
Yeah, these shooters are bad. Horrible. They need to promote going to the range. Yeah. Especially in the hood.
Yeah, man, I don't know what to say about this Israel. I mean, at the end of the day, he let's talk about this isn't his first time
Failed.
being arrested
He failed.
by the
What
Secret
was his
Service.
mission? All right.
There was this is not even his first time. Like, I guess he was trying to, I don't know if he wanted to gain entry of the White House to be inside it for some reason. I don't know what that they got going on, but this is the second time they said that he got in trouble. He was calling himself God. He's telling people to catch him, and it's like, now is he crazy or is he not crazy? But I, I'm confused on why does this happen while Trump is in office? We ain't never, I mean, ever in the history of what I did my research on of presidents have ever had this many assassination attempts on one person.
The attempts suck. They not hitting. Like they not hitting like they used to. Back in the day, you could
Something
go
like they
outside.
used to.
Yeah, back in the day, you could go outside. They could shoot in the front yard. It would be natural. It was natural to shoot in the front yard. These days, you can't even shoot nowhere but inside a building, which is crazy. Man,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy, man. I guess
Uh,
you see how they really feel when this type of man is in office.
this is sad. I'm not gonna lie. I think that there is something that needs to be done about. I just think this is too much theater. I don't. To me, I don't believe that this is what's really going on and what they really feel and what's really happening. I really think this is just trying to get. I think it's a psych ops, right? And what about psychops is like, have you ever heard of social engineering?
Not exactly.
So social engineering is basically like throwing out social experiments. Social means to everybody, just like social studies, social um uh, psychology and sociology. Sociology is just a mass group or the people, the masses, right?
Mm.
Social engineering is like social experimenting, which is we're going to do things in front of the
Oh yeah,
in front
yeah.
of the
I've
world
heard of stuff like
just
that. Like
to
a
just to yeah, like a psycho it's a psychops is
yeah,
we're doing things in front of you to get you prepared for something or something that agenda that they're trying to get across. And
yeah,
so I believe that this is like one of those things because they're trying to give President Trump sympathy, but you can't give President Trump sympathy when they're hiding the Epstein files. I said I'm
and
never
they
gonna
they
stop talking about
decided
that
they're not
because
gonna
y'all think
charge nobody.
then exactly you decide you're not gonna charge nobody. You deciding that okay, so if you're gonna decide that basically we're idiots, the American people are idiots, and we're not going to be able to show, or I mean, we're not going to be able to have the access to what actually happened on those islands, then guess what? Now we looking at the person who's in charge and who name got dropped being a part of those files, being a part of the flight log, saying that he was on the island, the pictures that got redacted, his name getting redacted out of the files that already came out, then everything is pointed at you. So how on earth are we going to have sympathy for a man that we believe that is a walking, talking um PDF file and the essay uh man, I'm trying to say not a salt person, but a person who has displayed his ways that's distasteful and unbecoming of human behavior. So it's
Right.
like they're doing in all of these assassination attempts. Some people are saying, "Hey, they should." I don't know why they doing such a bad job. And then there's people that saying, "Oh my goodness, why they keep coming after the president?" Da, 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 da. So it's like it's just so much going on, bro.
They're
That
trying to
it's
see
like
people's response. That's a part of the social
exactly,
experiment. The
yes,
social experiment. To see their response.
yes,
I think
yes.
that's kind of sort of what a lot of people are doing these days when it comes to people making pranks. It's like all about a social experiment, right? It's one dude I follow named JJ or whatever, and his social experience prank, in my opinion, is like a social experience of what would people do from this area if somebody came and asked them to help them move a dead body, right? And his recent one was an attorney who he did a prank on, and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of brought her with me and I strangled her, but she's no longer with us." And then
Whoa.
he brought him outside the show, and then it was like you see the reaction as to what would he do if he was in a situation like the attorney, and how he react, how people react in these situations. It's all a social experiment. His pranks, in my opinion, seem like a social experiment. And then you get other people who walk up to people, like the dude will walk up to somebody else, walk up to a couple and grab the lady's hand in front of the man. You know, you can say it's a prank, but at the end of the day, it's a social experiment to see what would this person do, what would these people do, what would she do, he do in this situation.
Wasn't
I
there
don't know.
like a
That's
TV show that did that same thing? Like they dang, what was the name of the show? I think it used to come on ABC where they would do certain experiments and see how people will react to it to uh like how
something
do
like
we help.
prank.
No, it wasn't a prank. It was like a they're gonna do something and see if anybody would help. I forgot what the
Okay.
name of the show. I know
Um,
people who gonna be listening to this, they gonna tell us after. It's a show on ABC where they was doing certain things and they just like People they were trying to figure out what would people do. Um,
Yeah. That I feel
but
like
yeah,
that seems like the era that we're in now, a social experiment era where people mask it as a prank, but it's a social experiment.
yeah. Uh, I'm trying to find it right now.
Like people have become Scientologists, as you say, of social experiments.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Or
It's called "What Would You Do?"
what would you do?
Yep, it came on ABC. It was "What Would You Do?" And it said the program places actors in everyday public environments like restaurant, parks, etc. And they would act out controversial, rude, or disciplinary scenarios. Hidden cameras record the reactions of nearby bystanders to see if they will intervene, speak up, or simply walk away. So I do believe we. I mean, that goes back to when we talked about probably last season about the Truman Show and how like he thought he was living in the real world, and then come to find out it was just a TV show. Everything was from birth until he was an adult. Like, why is everything the same? Every day the mailman would come by his house at the same time. His alarm go off at the same time. Everything was
You
at
said
it
it
was just
called The
routine.
Truman Show?
Yeah.
What's that on?
It's a movie with Jim Carrey.
I'm gonna look that up. I don't know
Yeah,
if I've seen it.
The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. He was like every day it was the same thing. They were, he just thought it was a normal, it was a routine, and then one day he just woke up like stuff would just start to be a little weird. Like it was a TV show, so of course people would like in real life would pass away. Everybody knew they was in a TV show, but him. I think.
Wow, that's crazy. Cause it's like after a while, like yeah, you could do the same thing every day, every day, every day, and then after a while, it might be something random where it's like, hey, I'm finna go here, and then that's off the script. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Right.
no, yeah. Like instead of going to work, I'm gonna play hooky.
It was crazy. It was so crazy. Like they messed with him so bad where even when he woke up to start seeing that stuff was different, I think they changed the script to like y'all start playing into him waking up or like trying to figure out like, wait, this ain't real. It was crazy. It was crazy. You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Um, then it was like, what was it? The Mandela effect. Um, where like the Sinbad played in it as a genie, um, as Shazam, but he
Yeah,
said he never played that movie.
and it was Shaq. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I
Yeah,
swear we seen Sinbad in this movie. Like, y'all playing with it. Y'all it playing in my face. Is somebody like, come on.
yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff that be going on. All right, family. I have a video. Before we get into the next topic, I have a video that Israel and I will react to. Um, I don't know if we talked about this already, but it's from, of course, one of my favorite people that is Sarah from It's Giving podcast. And I
It's
love how I put her on here a lot because she be getting on these girls, these women. And sometimes I just feel like we living in a world where some of the women don't want to get on. Besides in a sexual position, I think that's the only thing some of these women is willing to do nowadays. They'll do that faster than take accountability. Israel, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd
mm,
be like,
that'd be the easy
man,
way out
who
for
taught
them.
y'all? I had a feeling. I had a feeling that these people be doing that. All right. Let's get into what Sarah got to say from It's Giving podcast.
Women like being with tricks.
Yeah, and those women probably will get tricked out of their high value, high earning masculine man in the future. When you're on trick mentality, you don't understand solid partnership. Trick
That's not
mentality
necessarily true. They're
oftentimes
they
comes
have a
with
term
chaos.
for men who like to
No.
trick, sugar daddies.
Trick mentality comes with chaos because that means someone else is now dangling a carrot and you're not looking at where you're going. You're just chasing after the carrot. So now when you get a good man, you don't even know how to treat that good man. You don't know how to speak to that good man. You don't know how to respect that good man because the chaos that you're used to feels like it's more fun and it's arousing. But the truth is you're letting someone else take up capacity that shouldn't be theirs, and you're disqualifying yourself from the man that you could have if you would spend that time to actually see him or appreciate him or respect him.
Okay. The woman knows that and she just takes advantage of it, knowing that she'll never give him the time of day. Is that wrong?
Well, she's blocking her blessing to find her husband.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when you let people occupy space that belongs to someone else, oftentimes the someone else doesn't get there.
But Sarah, he told me he wanted to make sure my nails and my hair stay done. That's less money that's my money I can keep in my pocket.
It's taking up your capacity and
How?
you're blocking yourself from your husband. When you let people waste the space that you have in your capacity, you're not going to get the full level of blessing that you deserve.
Oh,
Interesting.
man, Sarah B. I love when Sarah talk. It's a very interesting.
Per se, you know, I'm trying to process the information.
Okay.
I guess you're right.
I'm gonna go first then. So
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I love how she says that if you know what you're doing is temporary, you can lose out on what you're supposed to have. If you're entertaining, basically, you're playing the game, knowing it's a game. But if you stop playing the game, you will know exactly when to look up to what's real for you, right? So I really like that she said that the capacity, like you giving up okay, cool, you ain't spending your money with this trick or with this guy that's just doing whatever for you. That's cool or whatever. But are you building towards the foundation that you want for yourself? And I think a lot of brothers need to hear that too. Like, you can have a good time. You can have fun there's a lot of women out here who don't mind having fun with you. But is it your wife? Are you building for your family? Are you what are you doing with your time? You can be wasting your time. Time is limited here on earth because our bodies do not go past the age of 120. I believe. I think the oldest person may have been 120, maybe. I'm not sure. Bible days said people will live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. We don't have that capacity no more. So I feel like your time should be precious because it's not long. You know, you don't live too long, and then there's certain time in your life where you got to get serious about what you really want. So I believe when it comes even from a man's perspective, don't just be giving out your wealth to just any and everybody. What are you gonna save for the woman that you want to have in your life? So I mean, that was a good little. I thought it was interesting what you say about that whole spiel, Israel, how she was breaking things down when it came to women and tricking and capacity and time and all that.
Yeah, when it comes to the capacity and the time, it's like you got to figure out who's gonna be worth your time and not to spend it on everybody. Like there was somebody on Twitter I was following, and I don't know if this girl was trolling or whatever, but she was talking about having like 10 to 15 different people to talk to as a man, and then it'll boil down to like 5 and something like that. And I'm like, look, ain't nobody got that much time in a day to be dating all these women and this, that, going on this many dates. Like, nah, you need to hone it down, and you just giving out too much energy and wasting your time. That's why you got to be more decisive about what you want and know what you want, so then you don't waste time on too many people. And then when it comes down to it, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna do this with this person and this person. I'm gonna see which one best suits for me. So then you only got the capacity for that and work it how you work it with one person or with that person. And you gotta weigh the pros and cons of both and then make your decision. But yeah, having a good time with people, like, yeah, of course, especially if they are the opposite sex and you a man, like, yeah, they gonna want to have a good time because you the one paying. 9 times out of 10, they gonna love
Yeah.
that come out and have a good time with you. And yeah, when it comes to capacity, it's a lot that I've done more by myself because of that. Because I'm like, yo, it would be nice to have somebody with me, but we not together. Ain't if I don't establish that and we not on that level of relationship or whatever, but you just a friend and you got your whatever already. And like, nah, this experience ain't for you. This is for me, and I'm going out having a good time for me. So yeah, just be mindful who you spend your energy and your time on. Stop wasting it. That's it. Or just spend it to
Yeah, I agree
yourself.
with that. I agree with that for sure. I know when I think I started this maybe high school when if I wanted to do something on my own, I just did. I think it was when I got into my adult life, in my 20s, is when I wanted to experience like dating or going on my own, like what they say, those self-care days and stuff. I
Mhm.
I would do it. I would definitely do it. I mean, I wouldn't wait for nobody. I just do it on my own.
Absolutely. Especially like now, it's like I probably threw myself personally maybe a party once, like back in 2018, and those who came, they
Mm,
came, and those who didn't, it was cool. It was like at a bar, and it was like about like 20 people showed up, which is cool. But I'm not at the point,
mhm,
like, I've seen too many people get upset because nobody shows up for them. And then when it comes down to a trip or something, everybody cancel. I'm the type that'll be like, yo, I'll say it a couple of times. Like everybody, I give people grace, but it'd be like, yo, I'll throw the invite once and then they don't show up, cool. Throw it second time, they don't show up, I'm stopping inviting because like, yo, I didn't invite you, you didn't show up. Especially third time, they're like, nah, I ain't inviting this person again. I'm gonna do this. Like, oh, why you ain't tell me? You ain't show up the last few times. So I'm gonna just do it by myself. Like
yep,
last time I went somewhere and I had invited some people, and then some people never responded, and some people just responded late, and I still went and did what I was gonna do. So like, yo, I did what I said I was gonna do. Like, oh my bad. Like, it's all good. Next time, you know. But yeah,
yeah.
you just gotta do what you're gonna do when you do it, because you can't wait. You can't wait on nobody.
Well, speaking on waiting on nobody, um, family, we got our last topic of the day, and that is what this episode is entitled. And we talking about voting rights. Like I said, some of these we get into some of these topics that has happened for the past month that we didn't get into just yet. But um basically, family, a lot of our political people are very upset with the law and legislation that has been passed and what's going on. So let's break it down for the people who might not be savvy. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So this happened, I believe, on April 30th. The Supreme Court hollowed out a landmark civil rights era law that has increased minority representation in Congress and elsewhere, striking down a majority black congressional district in Louisiana and opening the door for more districting across the country that would aid Republican efforts to control the House. In a 6-3 ruling, the court's conservative majority found that the Louisiana district, represented by Democrat Cleo Fields, relied too heavily on race. So Chief Justice John Roberts had described this congressional district as a snake that stretches more than 200 miles to link parts of Alexandria, Lafayette, and Baton Rouge. All these is in Louisiana. The effect of the ruling may be felt more strongly in 2028 because filing deadlines for this year's congressional races have passed. It is unclear how much of the provision known as Section 2 of the Voting Rights of 1965 remains. So, family, basically, the story is the South in Louisiana, specifically, but they're trying to redo all of the maps. Basically, family, they saying, look, y'all too black. It's too much black on black going on around here. And we gonna redo the voting and the congressional maps within all of the southern states. They just started with Louisiana first. They say that y'all can't vote for people because y'all black. We gonna so what they did was those towns they gonna split up like a pie or like a slice of pizza. They're gonna split it up and they're gonna not say that this is one big black political or voting county. They're just going to say y'all part of whatever state, whatever city, and it's not going to be about black voting anymore. And it's supposedly more for the Republican. Look, I've said on this channel multiple times. If you're Republican, if you're Democrat, I think you're the same thing. You're just different names. So I don't. Me personally, I'm not going to say who's right or who's wrong here, but it does in favor if you right now when it comes to Republicans, Trump and everybody. It's more for Trump and everything like that. If this law gets passed and it constantly catches on throughout the South. 1965 was about letting black voices be heard when it came to politics and voting. We are now in 2026 where now a lot of this stuff is being reversed. A lot of people are saying we living in the Jim Crow era again or starting to get back to it where now a lot of segregation is going on. Israel, now that you hear some of this political mumbo jumbo and jargon about what's going on when it comes to black voting power and rights, what is your thought on this whole topic?
Man, I think it would be horrible because I know Atlanta would be in an uproar if they did that and split Atlanta like a pie like that. Yeah, probably wouldn't have another black mayor. But yeah, that would be crazy. The same thing with Chicago. If they did that to major cities like all around, yeah, it would be crazy. All hell would break loose. I think we need some activist henchmen like they used to do back in the day, hem them up and, put some fear into them and make them do right or get gone, back in the day like they used to do on some Harlem Night type stuff, But
that's illegal, Israel. That's illegal.
I mean, some people, it's like they just live in life with no repercussions, and they need to know that this is wrong. They need to feel it. What young Thug said, make them feel it. Make them feel it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear your point, and I hear.
I think that's the name of the song. I'm gonna see if I can look it up.
Continue. I hear your point. I hear your point, Israel, but my question will always be the power of voting. Like, so for me, well, the information that I know about voting is your vote as a mass scale when it comes to presidency is the president is always elected by the electoral college. Now, when it comes to your local elections, you know, just like there's an election that's coming up this November, what they say the midterms they call it, um, which I believe is what Senate and seats again, trying to fix in the people, the Congress and the House of Representatives as a whole.
Right.
I believe. Um, yeah, so it's like all of this is happening, but it's like, why is the Supreme Court basically saying they're trying to discriminate from that it's like, oh no, y'all have black voices. It's the reason why 1965 Voting Act even came into uh you know into play is because they wanted people that was black that came together and be into these black cities. They wanted them to have a vote and a voice. Now that you're trying to say that that's too racist, they're basically saying it's too racist. The Supreme Court is now saying it's basically too racist for all black counties and cities to vote, like saying that they're just doing it for a black voice. But it's like there's literally cities and counties amongst the whole United States where there's not that many black people that live there. So are you gonna divide them too? That's my question.
Yeah, that'd be
Are you gonna
stupid.
divide the other white towns? Well, you know what? Speaking of white towns, while we up here talking about this, how come y'all ain't saying nothing about these sundown towns that we still got and it's 2026?
Cause it ain't no black people there, so we don't really care. But it's like black people ain't there. It would be more of a problem if there was black people there. It's just certain places you don't go because ain't no black people here. So why you gonna be there?
No,
That's
man.
why.
I'm
That's
saying
why.
why the government, why the Supreme Court, they up here worried about if black people is standing together to have one voice of who they want to vote for. They talking about that so bad. Why they not talking about all these all white towns and they don't split them up? Why they not gentrifying those white towns? Why they always gentrifying where the black people at? You know what I'm
Cause the
saying? I
black
really
people
want to
where
know
we
that
at.
question.
Right. Don't nobody want to be where them white people at. That's why. Trying to tell you, man, we know what's up, and they always trying to be where we at. And the ones who like, yo, they find where we at, where they at, is in the sundown town.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, we definitely should say something about all of these other we should say something about why they constantly we already dividing ourselves as black people when it comes to our different thoughts of spirituality and religion. Uh we we discriminate ourselves when it comes to our own money and wealth. We discriminate ourselves because of certain colorism that we still have that we learned from slavery. I don't know if you ever read the book of the Willie Lynch letter or something like that.
I
Is
think
that
I
what it's
got it
called?
somewhere around. Yeah, the Willie Lynch letter.
Um where he described exactly how we constantly keep our minds uh after the physical beating and whipping of slavery, and how now we just do it's emotionally in us now. It's
Embedded.
mentally, yeah, it's embedded inside, where it's like, oh man, why can't we do this? Why we can't do that? The colorism problem is still an issue. You light skin, dark skin, brown skin, then you still have the people overseas believing a propaganda because we don't run media at all. So
Right.
if Africa is watching Boys in the Hood, if they're watching Menace to Society, if they're watching Juice, if they're watching all of these hood movies that display black people ignorant and dangerous, then when Africans come over here, they're gonna look at us as ignorant and dangerous.
Right.
And then we looking at Africans, it's like, oh, they bougie and they this and they that and they scammers. So it's like we're so divided already amongst ourselves. Now you got the U.S. government continuously helping again to divide us. Now when it comes to voting and our voice by splitting up counties and cities and saying, oh, you have to go now to this district with the other people who might not even be voting for the same people you want to vote for if you were still in
Right.
your county. I think this is a huge issue and that we're talking about, not because of a lot of the politicians are saying, oh, they're taking away our voting rights, they're taking away our rights. I get that part. I'm just thinking more of a deeper issue, which is they're constantly trying to divide us even more. And I believe that we were finally starting to get together until this election, where because Kamala Harris lost, all of the black women are saying it's the black man's fault that the black woman lost the election. I don't agree with that. We already talked about that on this channel, but we were finally coming together on certain things. Now we're back getting divided again. Or could I be off, Israel?
No. That's what they're doing. They're trying to divide and conquer.
I mean, I feel like they didn't did that so much anyway.
They trying to keep doing it because they realize they not the majority. They the real minority, so they got to split the stuff up. So yeah, because they see what's going on. If they keep on going how they going, they ain't gonna have no white votes. So yeah.
Well, I mean, when it comes to a lot of stuff that they don't want to talk about, which is statistically things that you can definitely think about and talk about and look up yourself, which is I just went blank as soon as I was about to say it. That's crazy. The repopulation of the United States of America. Okay, now ICE is catching all of the so-called illegal people that live here. I also think that's a cover up just to replace people with the AI bots, but that's another story the other day to talk about. But then you got that's happening. Then you have the so-called birth rate of white America not reproducing as fast as blacks or Mexicans. And so that's another problem. You amped up. Then now you have a whole argument of abortion laws and Planned Parenthood and all of that stuff. We can get into that a whole nother day too. There's just so many topics in the world that we're not really talking about that is something that we need to talk about. So yeah. It's just so much going on that we need to discuss so we can figure out what can we do outside of just say, oh, it's happening.
Get more people
that's
in the
what's
office.
going on.
Get more people, get more of our people in the office. That part. That's
Maybe.
probably when we could truly make a change, but
not if everybody want to be a rapper. If everybody want to be, if everybody think everything is cool to do, if they think it's not cool to be a nerd, we in 2026. If you're not an engineer, I think you a lame. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't working with your hands, I think you a loser. But that's just me. Well, family, let's keep an eye on what's going on with these voting rights and things of that nature. We kind of running out of time. Did you have anything for thoughts from the Pharaoh today, Israel?
Let's see. I could say something. I was looking up something earlier. Let me
All
see.
right. Well, family, I'm gonna have to get back to this this Michael Jackson and Drake conversation, because now we have our newest segment of the season, and it's called Thoughts from the Pharaohs. And how Thoughts from the Pharaohs go is each week Israel and I will take turns back and forth discussing our thoughts for that week. And it could be a scripture, it could be positivity such as encouragement, and it can also be a rant. And this week is Israel's turn, so Israel, take it away.
All right. So my thoughts from the Pharaoh is the vision ain't from everybody. It ain't for everybody. Okay. Some people might see it. Some people won't see it. Some people gonna agree. Some people won't agree. And sometimes you just gotta stick and move and do what you're gonna do and let everybody see as you're doing it. Because the creator created one day at a time. I'm sure he ain't tell everybody what he was doing, but he started creating. Okay. The sun never asked the stars to shine. It just do what it do every day. And in every way, it get better and better, and it get greater and greater. And
Well,
if it ain't a two-way street, it's something that ain't for me. You know, if it ain't reciprocal, if it ain't a two-way street, it's something that you probably wasting your time, your energy, and your money in, and you shouldn't be doing it. Find something better to do, or better people to hang out with, or better people who can do the same thing that you are doing or can do for them. Okay. If it's always somebody asking for money, but once you ask for money, they can't do it, and then you ask another time they can't do it, and they ask another time but you can't, it's not a two-way street. You know, they need to do better in their financial and endeavors, you know. And let's say it's a new month, you know, make sure you get a new toothbrush. You know, it's June. You know, get a new toothbrush and change the sheets. And new month and new money, new millions. Time to have some fun, yons. That's my thoughts.
all right. Yeah, you know, people be wanting to say they have these, why people can't see what I'm trying to do. Your vision is your vision. God gave it to you.
Right.
It's not for everybody else to understand. And it's not
Absolutely.
even for you to make people understand. Your
They just
purpose
gotta see.
isn't to like make sure people understand what you're doing. Your purpose is to fulfill your purpose, if that makes sense.
Right. Not
So
ask for
whatever anybody else is doing, yeah, go ahead.
not ask for permission. Don't ask, stop asking for permission.
Ex-
Just do it. If that's your vision, do it.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. All right, family. Well, that's gonna do it for us, I believe. Make sure you all uh Mondays with Makita every Monday. Actually, you know, she got a new time, so she's working out a new time, but check on Mondays with Makita after 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, just to see exactly what time she comes on now, what time we come on, because I'm also her co-host.
For sure.
On TikTok at Sugar Bolly, SUGABOLLY on Mondays. All right. Make sure y'all check out Mondays with Makita. And you can find me, family. Thank you for joining us, episode 87 of the Pharaohs Podcast. You can find me on Facebook at Solomon Walker. You can find me on Instagram at CJ Walker 103. And if you want to get your book published, you want to do some business, you got something that you want to tell me, email me at cwalker1582 at gmail.com. Oh, yeah. And then, you know, hit me up on the Pharaohs Podcast at gmail.com with any type of questions, any type of is it disrespectful, any type of anything. All right, family. Israel, where can people find you?
Man, y'all can find me at the Pharaohs Podcast. You can find me at my website, jonathanjohnson61.com. Currently down, and you can email me at johnjohnatl61@gmail.com. Yeah, that's where you
All
can find
right,
me.
family. I'm definitely going. I promise, family, I'm gonna get to the breakdown that y'all want me to get to when it comes to the Iceman and MJ. And then also, if you can't find us or you can't follow us on YouTube, guess what? We on Spotify. Shout out to the Spotify listeners. Shout out to everybody who is
Big shout out.
definitely, continuously supporting us. We climbing our way to 300 on YouTube. So
Yeah.
definitely continuously support the channel. All right, family. I mean, with that being said, peace.
A-Town down.